In 2022, the number one reason why wholesalers went out of business was going too wide with their marketing.
Yep.
Real markets killed hundreds of wholesaling companies
Yep.
in 2022. Every year there's a new fad. In 2023, the fad is carrying over into 2024 was novations.
Novations.
I can make twice as much money per deal. So a lot of guys went 100% novation. They don't exist anymore.
They're screwed.
They're all gone. They all went under. Guys that were doing hundreds of $1,000s a month, moving in with their parents and going back to their 9 to 5.
Dude, going broke.
I had guys crying on the phone. The number 2 killer is...
What's going on, y'all? Eric Cline with another episode of Refuse to Lose podcast. And you know I get rid of the fakes and the phonies, and I bring on the real ones to this. Dude, the last time I said the guest on was the best, dude, I got a dope-ass dude here. Robert Wensley, the CEO, the Mark Zuckerberg of Investorlift, the wholesale real estate space, has one of the biggest platform in the industry to actually get rid of deals. And I got some shit that I want to talk about on this one. The reason I was excited to have Robert on here is because I know I can talk about just about anything, and there's nothing we can't talk about. So we're going to get into some juicy details on today's episode. Robert, what's up, bro?
I'm excited to be here. 2 months ago, you were sitting on my couch visiting town. I was like, remember I said 5 minutes in? I'm like, you gotta be in Scottsdale for what you want to do. You gotta be in Scottsdale. And what I love about you is you just take massive action.
Yeah.
Literally, like 3 days later, you're like, I bought a house. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, seriously? There's been so many people that are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, and they never do. But it just shows that you just take massive action all the time. So love that. Love having you in town. This place is insane. And I'm excited to chop it up because every time we do content,
Yeah.
it is fucking fire because you keep it real. 11 out of 10 podcasts, we always try to just keep it super real too. Just have real conversations about real shit.
Well, the industry needs real shit, bro.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that I said when I came into this space, not knowing I was going to wind up having a coaching platform. I did not. But I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to keep it as real as it comes.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the good shit, the bad shit. I'm going to expose the ones that need to be exposed without saying names. But, dude, I want to, before we get into all this, I want to say congratulations on Thomas, right?
Thomas Robert Wensley.
Bro, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is massive.
Absolutely.
And congratulations. Like, I moved to Scottsdale and then you run to Virginia. I'm like, what the shit, dude?
I'm still here. I still have my place. I'm just bi-coastal.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Right on, dude. Congratulations on all that.
Thank you.
Massive. So I want to jump into, because like there was a time where it was the hedge fund era in the real estate space. A lot of people had success, but when it went away, boom, they're gone.
They're gone.
They were a one-trick pony.
The weak died.
The weak died.
As they should. Evolution.
Right. And there's this, and I know, like, you want to have multiple exit strategies, but I see now today, I talk to hundreds of people a week in this space. You talk to hundreds of people. Like, you got your pulse on this industry. Yeah. I feel like I got a pretty good pulse on this industry. And novations. So I want to know, like, I've done novations.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that do novations.
Yeah.
How does that affect, or flat fee MLS listings?
Yeah.
It's like the hot shit right now. Yeah. It's that, everyone says it's the largest buyers pool out there. You put your deal on the flat fee MLS, boom. How does that affect Investorlift?
Well, I hate novations.
Okay.
I'm joking. Obviously, I'm going to be biased.
Of course.
I like wholesaling better. No, there's always what I hate is when people give advice and they're like so polarized and like, oh, this is bad, this is good. Usually, advice should be given in the context of who are you and what is your situation.
Right.
Okay. Novations are great because they open up a new pool of buyers.
I agree.
All the buyers.
Yep.
Your average homeowner that doesn't need a 30% discount. Okay. So that's the plus side to them. The downside to them is it introduces a lot more complexity into your operations. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done on those properties. It's not just slinging on an Investorlift, sign the contract, boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. The cash conversion cycles, the amount of time it takes you to make those checks is a lot longer.
The contract to close.
Exactly.
The payday.
And the amount of effort.
Yep.
So there's a trade-off, right? So if you're a beginner wholesaler and you have scarcity of leads, novations are a great strategy. Okay, as long as you don't run out of cash,
Right.
you're gonna get paid a lot longer. If I'm a bigger wholesaler, like I've worked with 4 different companies that we've taken past $1 million. 2 of them we took past $2 million a month. On those operations, if we threw novations in the mix, it would just crush us. Absolutely crush us. There'd be way too much complexity and too much juggling the cash flows. It'd be very difficult, right? You just want to be like, boom, deal a day, deal a day, deal a day, deal a day. Doing a deal a day with novations or 2 deals a day with novations, you need an army.
Yeah.
You just bloat your overhead so much. So there's this trade-off between earning more money and that taking more time and effort. So then the question is, okay, what is a simple way for me to make that decision?
Yeah.
Okay. What you should do is look at, if you've done a few assignments and you've done a few novations, look at the average days it takes between lead generated and check closed.
Contract closed.
Yeah.
Funded.
Like funded.
Yeah.
Wiring to your bank.
Right.
On assignment. And then look at what that is on your novations. Okay. That will give, there's only 2 numbers that matter in wholesaling business. Number 1, return on ad spend. Every dollar we plug in marketing, how many dollars do we get back? And number 2 is cash conversion cycle. How quickly do we do that?
Yeah.
If I double my return on ad spend, I plug $1 into Google Ads, and I go from making $5 up to 10, I double the profitability of my business, right?
Yep.
The other way to increase the profitability of your business is just to decrease your cash conversion cycle. Now, if I had a 60-day cash conversion cycle on novation, I could bring that back to a 30-day on a wholesale.
Just a traditional wholesale deal.
Yeah. You would think that that would also double the profitability of your business because you're now getting through a cash conversion cycle twice as quickly. You can do twice as many deals. It doesn't actually double it. It actually, for most companies, I've modeled this out. I actually have a model I should give to you or your students where you can measure the impact of that cash conversion cycle and how it impacts what you're going to see at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
If you can cut the cash conversion cycle in half for most businesses, they're not just going to double the profitability of their business, they're going to triple it. And I'll tell you why. On each cash conversion cycle, you have the opportunity to reinvest some of your profits back into growing sales and marketing, right? So if I had a magic money machine here, you can insert a $1 bill on one side. I give you a magic money machine, $1, and I say, go nuts with it. You put $1 in, you see $5 comes out the other end. And I said, you want to do it again? Are you going to put just $1 in? No, you're going to put $2 in and see if it happens again. Oh, now I got 10. So every time we get through a cash conversion cycle, when we get paid, we have the opportunity to increase our marketing, increase our sales, and grow our business. So for most companies, if they're reinvesting their profits, they can triple their business by decreasing their cash conversion cycle. Now, the other thing too is if you're not a high volume wholesaler,
which most aren't,
yeah, you might want to jump on novations a little bit more because you have more time.
Yeah.
Right? But then you really got to manage your cash flows because you don't necessarily know when or if you're going to get paid.
Yep.
Right? You might think you're getting paid next week, and all of a sudden that homeowner gets rejected for their mortgage.
Yep.
And you're starting over from square one again, doing new freaking listings and walkthroughs, and it's just, there's a lot. So you got to really watch your cash flows and make sure you have some good cash reserves if you're going to go through that X option, because it's killing businesses right now.
Novations.
There's companies that are making banger novations but still going broke. So I'll tell you some interesting numbers. So in 2022, during the hedge fund era, whenever we lose customers on Investorlift, we reach out to them and we ask them, hey, like, why did you leave us? Did we screw up? Was it missed expectations? Do you not have budget? Like, what is it? And we take that feedback. Anything that is product related, we use that to then drive the evolution of the product to make the product even better. It's the most valuable feedback is not from the customers that love you, it's from the customers you lose.
That leave you.
Yeah, that's the gold mine. So we try to talk to every single customer that leaves. And then we also monitor what percentage of those customers, and by the way, we have the highest retention of any platform. Last month, our retention. Most companies in this industry are churning 8 to 12% of their users per month. Last month, we were at 2.98%.
I love it.
Which is 3% on any industry is considered world-class. We're below that. So we talk to them, and we ask them, hey, is it the product, or are you going out of business? A lot of times, it's people are going out of business, right? So then out of those people, we start diving into the data, and we'll interview some of them and be like, hey, what changed this year versus you were crushing it the previous year? What did you change? In 2022, Nick Perry and I went out there and started talking to all the podcasts about nationwide wholesaling. We had crushed it nationwide wholesaling. We didn't really mean nationwide. We meant half a dozen really good markets.
But people hear nationwide and they think
they're like,
go to
Google
all
ads, the whole thing. No, and then Google just gives you all the trash that no one else is willing to buy.
Right.
So in 2022, the number one reason why wholesalers went out of business was going too wide with their marketing.
Yep.
Rural markets killed hundreds of wholesaling companies
Yep.
in 2022. Every year there's a new fad. In 2023, the fad is carrying over into 2024, but now is dying off, was novations.
Novations.
I can make twice as much money per deal. And what happened is when we looked at these businesses or businesses that crushed it the year before, it started becoming more difficult. They were relying on the hedge funds. They were like, shit, I can't get stuff at the numbers. I can't move stuff at the numbers I used to.
Yep.
This must be the silver bullet. So a lot of guys went 100% novation. The guys that went 100% novation, they don't exist anymore.
They're screwed.
They're all gone.
Yep.
They all went under.
Yep.
I had guys that were doing hundreds of $1,000s a month, moving in with their parents and going back to their 9 to 5.
Dude, going broke.
I had guys crying on the phone.
Yeah. I talk to those people.
Yeah.
Dude, when I say we talk to hundreds of people a week, like I got a room full of coaches under me. And when I say I got a pulse on this space, I got a pulse on this industry. And it's, dude, when I came into this industry and it went, all I knew was cash deals.
Yeah.
I didn't know novations. We messed with hedge funds a little bit, but dude, we didn't pay much mind to them.
Yeah.
We did deals with them, but it was 100% like a second thought. Novations, we did them, but we didn't do a shit ton of them.
No, you got to keep it small. They're good for, there's certain deals where if the lead came in and I saw it, if I got a $750,000 house in Seattle, Washington, and there's no way I can get it less than 85% ARV, and the thing is clean, it doesn't need any work, it's bank financeable, I'm novating that shit all day long.
Yeah, of course.
Okay?
Do it.
All day long, I'm going for it, okay? The problem is when you go 100%, because if you can go 100%, it will kill you. I think the most a team can usually handle is about 20%.
Of novations.
So if you're doing more than 20%, that's where I see companies really starting to struggle, really damaging their cash flows, starting to not grow, but reverse grow, actually decrease.
Got it.
In deal flow. So be careful. There's pros and cons to everything. We always want the quick, easy buck. Innovation, everyone was thinking it's a silver bullet. It's the quick, easy buck. It's not. It was the number one killer last year. And then this year, people are finally realizing that.
Good.
They're finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to let it play out.
Yeah.
I haven't even talked about novations.
Good.
I'm like, you know what? I don't need to. I'll let it play out. It's a useful tool in some situations. I don't need to shit on novations. I think it's a useful tool. Just don't go crazy. Like everything in life, moderation, moderation, moderation. It's funny. Last night, one of my sales guys from Texas, he's visiting, Daniel. He's like, that was a really interesting call. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, prospect comes on. I'm like, so do you novate much? The guy's like, fuck novations. I'm never doing another goddamn novation in my life. He's like, oh, really? Why? And then he just went through and told him 4 or 5 stories of the last few novations he did and how miserable they were and how it almost killed him on cash flow. So yeah, useful tool. Try to keep it under 20%. Save it for the bangers. Just like if you're going to flip, right?
Yeah.
If you're a wholesaler and you're going to flip, you're not flipping every one. You might do one a month or one every couple of months, when you're like, hey, this is a good rip. But circling back to the beginning, we did a weave there. We're going to weave back.
Yeah.
The decision making. I will novate when the novation is going to be 3 times the assignment fee.
There you go.
That's a good mental rule of thumb. If I'm like, hey, the assignment's going to be 30 on this, but a novation is going to be 90, I'll take the 90. I'll do the extra work. But if it's not 3x, even if it's 2.5x, no, I'm wholesaling that shit. Keep the cash rolling. This is a velocity business.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what the pros understand. This business is all about speed.
Burn-
Speed and simplicity.
Transaction, fast transactions.
Those $1 million a month companies, look at Doug Hopkins. Doug Hopkins spends $1 million a month just on his marketing. I had him on my couch a couple weeks ago for his podcast, incredible podcast. If you haven't heard it, you got to have him on this one.
Got it, done.
120 deals in 1 month. The only way you can do that is like streamline operations, remove all complexity,
Yep.
buy low, sell high, turn and burn, ring the bell every day.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Love it. That's novations. There's a few cats out there. One of them in particular, man, he got on my fucking nerves earlier this year. Long hair. Caught a picture of me kissing my son, which I still kiss my son today because I love him to death. Dude was talking all crazy shit. They call him like the novation. I don't even want to promote the dude. But anyways, you know who you are if you ever see this YouTube channel. I'm in your city now, dog. Just so you know that.
I think I put 1 and 2 together there.
Yeah, you know where I
I was going
be.
through my mind, I was like, wait, no, it's not Eric Brewer. No, it's not Steve
Yeah,
Craig,
no, long hair. Anyways, the empty cans make the most noise. But so when it comes to Novations Investorlift, right?
Yeah.
It didn't impact Investorlift.
No, I mean, our growth is pretty consistent. We're
Bam.
like, I'm all about like just have a good product, stay focused,
Got it.
stay focused on one thing, do one thing better, and just slow grow.
Yeah.
Like slow grow compounds.
Got it.
We grew 60% this year.
Love it. Great.
But we didn't do that in 1 month. We just like, 5% a month, 5% a month,
Yep.
5% a month. Before you know it, like you're going to be growing 60% a year. Doubling time is like a year and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
So when I came into this space and I ended up saying, hey, dude, I'm going like all in on the coaching space.
Yeah.
People ask me, do you wholesale? And the answer is yes. Once a month, I got the largest wholesale operation I think in the country.
Yeah, I saw the Instagram videos. You had like 70 guys back here on the phone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yes.
How much was earned?
Ripping deals. It was a room full of new guys. So my goal for that day was 20 plus contracts for $500,000. We hit 8 contracts for like 2 something.
That is incredible.
I know,
200,000, where
but
the guys are earning more money coming to the event than
yeah.
You know,
One guy
that's
came here. We will DISPO his deal for $40,000+.
Incredible.
He paid $500 to come here. I gave him free leads, free sales training, fed him, helped him lock the deal up, and he left he's going to make 40 grand. Well, it's a 50-50 split.
I love that format. You notice, remember the last event that we did together, Wholesaling Live?
Yeah.
We don't typically sponsor events anymore because we find we get a way higher return on ad spend putting our money into digital.
Right.
It's just like digital is so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So for us to go spend 30 grand sponsoring an event, like maybe I get 3x versus I can get 20x on my Google ads.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense. But I did do 2 that year, and those were the only 2 that were live wholesaling events. You were the MC, you crushed it.
Yes,
Absolutely
that was
crushed
dope.
it. Yeah, we were doing 75 hard and like,
Yeah.
we were like, oh shit.
It was crazy.
Okay, next speaker's up. Let me go piss real quick.
Yeah,
We're both guzzling like, I don't know how many liters of water a day. But that was a great event. I sponsored those 2 events, not because I was trying to make money on them. I would have made more money if I put that money somewhere else, but because I truly believe in authenticity and showing people what it actually is.
Yep.
What does this business actually take?
Yeah.
Not just like pie in the sky theoretical, but like, let's actually get on the phone, talk to some sellers.
Yeah.
Let's actually comp out this deal. Let's actually go and sell this deal. You know?
What I was saying with me coming into the coaching space,
Yeah.
and I truly believe that this industry was ready for a new face.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not as big as some of them out there yet, but give me another 12 months.
Oh, I've seen your Investorlift account. I don't think I've ever seen. In fact, for sure, I've never seen an Investorlift account surge so fast. I You came in month one, you were 140 some thousand on the board.
Dude, my first 12 months without ever knowing anything about this industry, came in, did 2.6 million, netted 1.5. That was my first 12 months.
Yeah.
But I canceled way more deals than I even closed on because I didn't know what I was doing. Literally didn't know what I was doing. But when it comes to there's a point I want to make here, is I knew this industry needed a new face. It needed a new information. I came from an industry that I own the largest timeshare exit company in the United States. Almost in 2019, almost exited a company for over $100 million. Lost it all to a massive lawsuit with two multi-billion-dollar companies. So when I came into the wholesale industry and I started going to these events, nothing against the guys that were on the stage, nothing against them at all. They brand themselves okay. But I knew immediately they had no clue what they were truly talking about. Every event I went to, it was regurgitated bullshit. Like it was the same message, different voice. Same message, different voice.
There's so much groupthink.
Yeah. And I was like, man, all these dudes just circle jerk each other. Yeah. That's all they do. And I'm okay saying that because not a lot of them wanted to let me in the circle. And I'm like, you know what? I said very early on, I told my wife, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to create our own stage. If they ain't going to let us on it, we'll create our own stage. The reason I'm making this point is I came in with my own material, my own CRM, my own sales process. I ripped all their KPIs apart. I grew something bigger than I think any of them did. I exited it and I did this saying I did what all you said I couldn't do. But what I'm getting at is this. I had something new. You brought something new to the real estate industry, to the investor community, to the wholesale industry. I didn't rip nobody off of any of their material. I came my own script, my own, everything was
You're
mine.
A creator.
I created all of it.
Yeah, there's creators and then there's thieves.
You created Investorlift.
Yeah.
I know there's thieves out there.
Oh, yeah.
And I know people have somehow gotten their hands on your shit. And now they're selling it at a significant discount, or from what I know.
Well, they're yeah, there's
I didn't even know if I should go here with it.
I have
but
a spreadsheet on my computer that has a list of every single person that has ever tried to copy us.
Good.
And there are hundreds and hundreds of websites on that list. And when you visit any of those websites, 98% of them are a 500 error, no longer listed.
Shut down.
It's a graveyard list. Absolute goddamn graveyard. There's companies that have gone out and raised over 100 million to rip us off.
Really?
They're all either under or going under. Now, I'm an American. I believe in fair market competition. Nothing gets me more excited than competing against someone else.
Love it.
And at Investorlift, we're the Rolex of the industry, but Rolex doesn't just own Rolex, they also own Tudor, right? I just picked this up last Friday, Skydweller, on the list for 3 years on this.
Dope.
Yeah, Blueface. So this is that fourth or fifth Skydweller they've offered me, but I'm like, sorry, unless it's got a blue face,
ain't happening.
It ain't happening. I want the blue face. When I walked out of the store, this Rolex instantly went from 15,000 to I think right now they're trading at 28 for the white gold with blue face because they have that premium brand. People always ask me, Robert, why don't you launch a mass market version of Investorlift? Well, we're a premium product with premium services. We got live chat with support responses within 2 minutes. You get your own onboarding specialist and account manager. We're watching all your metrics. We're working with you as a partner, offering the highest level of services that we can. And by the way, reinvesting any capital you give us right back into the product to make it better. We have the Rolex brand. That opens up a market opportunity for someone to come up with a cheap knockoff, right? Rolex was smart. They realized this, and they created a new brand, Tudor.
Yeah.
Which, I bought my guy David a $8,000 Tudor for hitting a sales goal. As soon as he walked out of the store, that $8,000 two-door is worth $4,000, right? Because that's not the Rolex brand, that's the Walmart brand. So I always tell people, you get what you pay for.
Yep.
There are some cheap knockoffs that actually broke a lot of laws trying to infiltrate our system. Some of those laws have criminal penalties. And I told you before we started this interview, I said, I've been very fucking successful, always being Switzerland. I get along with everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think there's very many people out there that would have anything bad to say about me because I always treat people right. I'm always very generous with everyone. But the fucking moment that you steal from me or attack me anywhere, then it's a goddamn war.
Yeah.
So there's a couple guys out here that went and did some really, really nasty, tricky things to extract millions of dollars of data from our systems completely illegally, and they broke federal and state laws, and some of those laws have jail time of up to 3 years.
Let's go. Get them.
And we're going to be, they have no fucking idea what's about to happen.
Are they still out there?
Oh, they're still out there.
Are they still in the industry?
I guarantee you 90% of the people that are watching this know exactly who the hell I'm talking about. And by the way, I'm not the only one that's going to hit them.
Yeah.
There's some other guys. I was just talking to the biggest influencer in our industry right now, Pace Morby. No one's got a bigger audience than him. He texted me the other day. He's like, hey, are you still going to hit this guy? I'm like, yeah.
Go for his throat.
I will, but when I go, it's going to be game over.
Can
He's like, I want to hit him too. Here's what he was doing. He was doing the same shit with my systems. I'm like, perfect. Let's hit him at the same time. So now if he had just gone out and created something, there were some guys that created cheaper versions of Investorlift.
They
young
created it, though.
And they had some unique thing that they created that was different. And they went mass market, $100 offering. And when I saw that, I was like, this could be two-door. And I actually, without even charging them, called those guys up and jumped on Zoom calls and told them everything that they were doing wrong that would actually kill them, to try to keep them alive, to try to allow them to create a two-door, so that eventually, if they could actually get product market fit and come up with a low-cost solution,
Boom.
I would just buy them or do an equity stock deal, and then we would have two brands. So if these guys had just gone out and created something,
they were thieves.
instead of stealing,
Yeah.
then I would be supporting them. I'd be helping them. I'd probably even join their board. And then they could have sold their companies to me. Instead, they went and they stole from me and then tried to blackmail me into giving them millions of dollars.
Do they by chance own a PPL company?
Quite possibly. There's more than one.
I know. Well, I don't know the exact, but I think I know exactly who.
I'll say this on the record. The guys that are copying us right now, this time next year, they won't have businesses.
Love it. I love it,
You
dude.
steal, you're going to get...
Well, dude, there's
You're gonna
a
get your head
right
chopped
way
off.
and a wrong way to do it. There's good players, there's bad players. Dude, the one thing that I love and about me and my wife, right, is that, man, I come from, prior to me getting clean and getting off drugs.
Yeah.
Dude, I was the guy you didn't want to be around. I cheated, I lied, I stealed, I did all that, dude.
Yeah.
I was that guy. And I got clean at 28 years old. And I literally, it was like, I'm living a new life now.
Yeah.
And I like back then, dude, I was stealing from my own family members. And I pride myself today, literally pride myself today, that I do not fuck anybody over. I don't mess anybody over. Like, I do the right thing. I can lay my head down at night.
100%.
And I'm okay with everything that I did.
Yeah.
And my wife, dude, my wife is she's the kind of person where, and this almost freaked me out, where when I first started dating my wife, Shyla, and we were at a clothing store and they rang everything up. They put it in the bags and we were on the way out to the car. And she goes, hold on, let me check the receipt. And she checked the receipt. She looked in the bags and she goes, oh, they didn't charge me for this hoodie. And I'm like, free hoodie. And she goes, no, Eric, it's not a free hoodie. We're going to go back in and pay for this. And I was like, wow, I've never been around somebody like this.
Yeah.
And then it happened again. And I was like, And I ended up doing that one time. I was like, checking. I'm like, man, you didn't charge me for this.
Yeah.
I just live my life that way, dude. Like, I want to earn everything that I have.
The creators win at the end of the day.
Yes, dude.
There's one of my friends, his dad was wealthy, probably worth a few $100 million, maybe even over $1 billion. Same guy I was talking to you about the other day that gave me that other advice on debt. He said, I asked him, I said, what do you think the wealthy families teach their kids? Because the wealthy families, they tend to have kids that also become wealthy. There's a direct correlation. I'm like, there's obviously some mindset transfer.
Yeah.
What do you think they're teaching their kids that the poor people aren't? He says, very, very simple. He said, most people teach their kids to pursue money. Go out and try to make as much money as you can. Conversely, the rich families, they teach their kids, how do you create value? Focus on creating as much value as you can. Because when you focus on trying to make as much money as you can, what you're doing is you're focusing on trying to extract value. And you can only extract so much before you lose brand.
Yeah.
And if you instead focus on how can I maximize value, the formula for building a billion-dollar company in anything is very simple. This is how you make money. This is the formula. This is the cheat sheet to making however much money you want to make. Value creation multiplied by value capture multiplied by the number of people that you're creating value for.
Yep.
So I could go and create $1 million of value for one person, and maybe I have a monopoly on that industry, so I can have a very high extraction rate, and I can extract 50% and charge them $500,000, and make $500,000 with one customer, providing $1 million. Maybe I'm a consultant. You know, I'm a consultant. I got one company I'm consulting for. Like an in-house attorney would be an example.
Yeah.
I'm your attorney. I'm creating $1 million of enterprise value, but I'm going to bill you $500,000 for it. And I'm doing one at a time.
Right.
Or you go the Mark Zuckerberg Facebook route, and you could say, hey, I'm going to provide $10 of value for 1 billion people, and I'm going to make 25 cents per year on each of you, and I'm going to make billions.
Yeah.
Like, that's the formula for making money. So I think a lot of guys also don't think about how that correlates with brand. We were talking about this. We had an incredible podcast yesterday with Pace and Josh Snow.
Josh
Both
Snow's
two
the man.
guys are worth over 100 million, well over 100 million. Josh is selling $1 million per day on TikTok, just on TikTok, and just got into Costco and had the fastest sellout of any dental product they've ever had in Costco history.
Really?
Yeah.
We got to get him on the Refuse to Lose. He's a savage.
Savage. So one of the things we're talking about, how the whole subject of it is brand, and we talked about
About
for 2
branding?
hours. Yeah. And at the end, I was like, you know what? The way to sum this up is brand is really trust.
Yes.
Now, if you know that brand is really trust, then you got to think first principles, right? If you look at Elon Musk and all the most successful people on the goddamn planet, they all understand one thing: first principles thinking. Okay, so if we say brand really is trust, if I want to build my brand, what do I got to do? I got to build trust.
Trust.
There's only 2 ways to build trust. There's transfer, trust transfer. If you were looking for a video guy, say, hey, Luigi's my video guy. He's the best in the world. Patrick done work for me. He's incredible. You're looking for a new video guy? Talk to Luigi. Talk to Patrick. They're the best. Boom. Trust transfer. Okay? Me being on this podcast, your audience that hasn't seen me, the fact that you invited me on,
Right.
boom, I instantly get trust transfer.
Yep.
So trust transfer is the first way you build trust. The second way you build trust, and there's only 2, is time. I say I'm going to create some value for you. I say I'm going to do something, and then I actually deliver.
Yep.
That's why it's interesting. We were doing a DISPO live yesterday, and I have a new AI engineer. He's based in Vegas, but he's out here this week. And he had just built a new AI model that looks at all the billions of data points, every mouse move that's ever happened by any buyer, ever on Investorlift. Instead of looking at buy box and geotags and all that shit, it just looks at what are they actually shopping for. And then it takes You give it any property ID, it gives you the top 10 buyers for that deal. So we get on the DISPO Live, and I start calling the AI buyers, and they're just absolute bangers. But it took us over 2 hours to sell the deal, which actually is pretty good. Like, you used to take 2 weeks to
How
sell
much
a deal
was
before
in the
Investorlift.
deal?
That was a 20K rep.
2
20K
hours,
rep on a
20K?
165K property. Not bad at all.
It's not a long time.
Yeah, I could do 3 of those in a day if I
Come
really
on.
wanted to push hard. 60 grand a day is pretty good living.
Yes.
So after we got off the call, he was like, yeah, I was wondering at like which point I should like just call you and pretend to be the buyer. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, we never, ever do shit like that. Actually, at the beginning of the call, I started it off and I said, guys, for anyone that was here last week, I want to let you know we claimed the win on that deal. We had someone that said over the phone, hey, I'm going to buy it. And we claimed the win saying that we sold it live. I just wanted to let everyone know that that woman ghosted us and never actually signed the contract. We did not actually make that. Last week was supposed to be a $36,000.
And it didn't happen.
And she ghosted us because what was happening is some people were trolling me in the comments. So I got a little too hasty and I just wanted to go for the win. And I didn't vet the buyer on the call as much as I should have. She was just like, oh, yeah, we're ready to go. I'm like, have you done some deals in there? Yeah, we've done 6. All right, perfect. What's your email? Let me send it over. I should have gone deeper. I should have it was actually a bad example of what to do. I was just trying to jump the gun and get the win on the call.
It's good to show that stuff, though,
Yeah.
man.
So I started off the next week being like, hey, guys, we didn't actually sell last week. I just want to let everyone know that.
Yeah.
And then this week we did sell it. And then actually from the same deal blast, another buyer came in. And then the guy just texted me. He just made another 30K rip this morning on another deal he had down the street from one of the buyers I called from the AI blast. So point being, we at Investorlift always try to be 100% authentic and always execute on everything we say we're going to do, and never report a number that's off. We don't fluff anything. You're like this too. You show. This is why I love you. This is why I think you took off so well. Is you had tremendous success,
Yep.
and then once you had tremendous success, then you start just showing people your CRM. Hey,
That's
here's
it.
my actual deals. You know how many people have come to me and be like, oh yeah, I guarantee you half those deals are fake. I'm like, dude, they're not. He's selling them on Investorlift. I see the marketing campaigns going out. I see the offers coming in. There's no point. Like, this is not fake. You're not. Eric is just a really good sales guy, okay?
Dude,
Maybe you should, instead of shitting on him and accusing him of lying, if you're accusing someone that has bigger numbers than you of lying, what does that say about your company?
Yeah. Well, there's a guy out there of Mexican descent.
Too good to be fake.
Yeah, and he always wanted to shit on me showing my CRM.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not going to show checks. I was doing volume. I was doing everything I did was virtual. I didn't have time to post a check or like
you don't get a check. You know what no one that's doing 600 grand a month has time to go to the
wires.
goddamn bank.
Yes.
You get it wired in.
Dude, and my CRM was as real as rain.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, that's what I like is you're transparent, good platform. That's what I like. People are ripping your shit off. It's good that people are trying to rip your shit off, but it's shitty that they're doing it.
Yeah, they'll never catch us though, because our database.
Good.
Like, the AI, we have AI we've been working on for like 18 months.
Yeah.
And it's going live next year. And guess what else I'm going to be doing? All these guys are fucking idiots because they think that because we have a premium product that's really expensive, there's an opportunity to launch a cheap product.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think I'm not going to do that?
There you go. Right on.
There's a free version of Investorlift that is already out.
From you guys.
There's companies out there. Yeah. It's
Oh,
invite only right now. We're beta testing it. We're working on a different monetization strategy where the buyers are actually paying for Investorlift, not the wholesalers.
Got it.
And it's rolling out to 300 home investors franchises next month. And within the next 12 months, my goal is to make Investorlift 100% fucking free for all wholesalers. If you think you can launch a product for $200 a month, that's 1/1000th of a percentile as good as Investorlift,
Yeah.
and grab market share. What do you think is going to happen next year when I roll out the free version that's 1,000 times more powerful? All those businesses are dead.
Yeah.
I don't even need to sue these guys. I'm going to beat them in market.
Yeah. They still need to be slapped around, bro.
Oh yeah.
They still need to be slapped around. So, dude, you talk to you.
And by the way, I do pay attention to who switched over. Just remember that.
Let's
I'm
go.
just kidding. I don't actually care.
Let's go. Let's go.
Maybe a little bit though.
Yeah,
I
you
might
do.
have taken some screenshots.
Robert, you care.
Traitor? No.
You would have. Hey, you care? You wouldn't have brought that shit up, bro. Come on now. It is what
I
it
do
is.
have a good memory.
So, dude, the wholesale industry. What do you think here over the next? Obviously, and I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not. But I do believe the next 4 years is going to be a gold rush.
Absolute gold rush.
Huh?
Yeah.
Gold rush. For anyone out there that thinks the wholesaling industry is, or like the regulations, they're never shutting the wholesale industry down.
No, you're going to see the whole tone flip because what they've realized is housing is too goddamn expensive.
Right.
Now, I know you don't want to get into politics too much, but I'm sure you heard Kamala Harris.
Yeah, Trump won, y'all.
And said that she's going to give everyone $25,000 to buy a house.
Yeah.
We do not have a demand problem in America. We have a goddamn supply problem. We're short 4 million houses.
Yeah.
If you go and you wave $25,000 checks saying, hey, everyone that can't afford a house because you don't have a $25,000 down payment, the government's going to give that to you. What does that do to demand?
Yeah.
Pushes it through the goddamn roof.
Mm-hmm.
Housing is already overpriced. We already have way too much demand. You throw fuel on that fire, the prices are going up way more than $25,000.
Yeah.
That would just be destruction. Just her mentioning it, literally the next day I can see lead flow just plummeting.
Yeah.
I can see deal flow just plummeting. After she started talking about that, deal flow on Investorlift dropped down 30%.
Did it really?
Over the previous months.
No
the
shit.
The Fed dropped rates 0.5%.
Yeah.
That's supposed to bring down the 10-year treasury.
Yeah.
Right? And the mortgage rates are tied to the 10-year treasury because the average person holds their mortgage for about 7 years.
The average holds it.
Average
7 years.
holds it for 7 years.
Me and my wife hold it 3.
Yeah?
Every 3 years we move.
You upgrade.
Well, we upgrade.
You upgrade pretty quickly.
I'm trying not to move this time.
Yeah.
Scottsdale.
You got a good place. Right?
We got a good place.
You got a good place. Yeah.
Paradise Valley. We're about to make this house look beautiful. Anyways.
So her coming out, she also said she other crazy shit like tax on unrealized gains. Like that would just decimate all real estate investors. Like you would just not be able to real estate invest in America. You'd have to go to a different country. It was just like the stupidity. So that freaked out the market. We were up all year. The month before the election was the first month we had a down month.
Really?
Yeah, almost 60% growth this year. First down month before the election. And we saw all the wholesalers getting clobbered too because you know what's happening?
No.
Credit card bounce rate through the fucking roof. When we
Credit
see
card
our credit card bounce rate through the roof, that tells us that all the wholesalers are struggling. I could just look at the credit card bounce rate on Investorlift. All the millions of dollars we run through credit cards from users buying shit. And when I see them start bouncing, we know, okay, things are tough. Day after the election, leads up, deals up. So far this month, we're up 50%.
Let's go.
That's just in the first month.
Let's go.
So the market is optimistic.
Yeah.
Okay. Market is very optimistic. I think the Fed is going to have to do another quarter-point drop before the end of the year. I predicted the half point. I predicted the last quarter point. I said there's going to be a half point. It'll be followed by 2 quarter points before the end of the year. Depends on the job reports if we get the next quarter point before the year end, or maybe it goes to Q1, but I think they'll do another one. That's a full 1 point drop. That's huge. You're not going to see that, though, hitting the market and hitting mortgage rates for a few months. It's going to take 3-4 months. Once those rates drop down, there's so much pent up demand that's just been like, let's wait, let's see. So many people that want to sell their houses too, but feel like they're stuck.
Yeah.
Rates were so high. We start getting those 4% mortgages again. All those houses they're ripping. But then on top of that, all the government has been, and the realtors have been very anti-wholesale. And if you're anti-wholesale, you're anti-investor.
Yeah, they're
because
crazy.
We're just basically the marketing teams for real estate investors that rebuild America's neighborhoods every single day, investing billions and billions of dollars of capital at risk.
Yep.
That sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, but we risk it to rebuild the neighborhoods. Absolutely essential for the American economy. That whole dynamic under a Trump administration, I think, is going to change because what he's going to realize, he wants to go after inflation. How do you go after inflation? What do people spend the most money on? where they live.
Yeah, where they live.
You want to bring inflation down? Bring down the cost of living. You want to put money back into people's pockets? Bring down the cost of living. How do you bring down the cost of living? You need to increase supply. We're I think 5 million units short
Right now?
we should be. And we've only built 4 million since the financial crisis. So we would have to do more than all the house building we've done since 2008 just to
Catch up.
before we even start getting ahead.
Right.
So my hope is that we'll start seeing a lot more pro-investor sentiment coming from the federal government, state governments, so we can make up for that housing shortage, so we can actually bring the cost of housing to a realistic level where you're not having to pay 60% of your paycheck just for a goddamn mortgage.
Yeah. You guys have a ton of data and deals running through Investorlift.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this number off the top of your head. I'm sure you do. How many, do you know it by assignment fee? Like this year, how many deals, and then what did that equate to in assignment fees?
Yeah. So this year we're forecasting the big numbers. My advisory team will kick me in the ass if I give out certain numbers, but I'll give you a few.
I just want people to know there's
scale.
A shit ton of deals being done.
Yeah. So you know how many we're at this month?
How many?
9,000 fucking houses just this month.
9,000.
It's up. Like I said, it's up 50% from last month. Last month we were at 6,000. We're recording this. What is it? The 21st.
You're saying 9,000?
We've had over 9,000 fucking properties listed just in November.
Think about that for a second.
We will finish this month for the first time in American history, first time in company history, over 10,000 deals posted on Investorlift just this month.
10,000 deals. There's a point I want to make with this.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I'll throw you one more number. Last time I checked the average assignment fee, we were clocking at $28.7K per household.
What was the number again?
$28,700.
$28,000 was your average deal size on Investorlift. 10,000 deals were posted on Investorlift. Do you have a rough number, Robert? Because I don't know this, and I want them to know.
Yeah.
Do you know roughly how many, whether it's a bedroom wholesaler, a team wholesaler, how many are there out there? Do you have a clue?
Yeah, I do, but I don't want to give you an exact number on that.
No, not exact, but roughly.
So in any given market in America, 10 to 15% of houses sold in each year are sold to real estate investors.
Okay.
So all you got to do, what's the total number? Look up the total number of houses sold in America last year.
Is it over 100,000 people are trying to wholesale?
Over 100,000 people trying to wholesale?
Whether it's
trying to. I think there's maybe 10,000 legit wholesalers.
I get it, 10,000, okay?
Yeah.
There's 10,000, but there's way more people trying to do this.
Yes.
The point I'm trying to make is this. It's like you had 10,000 deals posted on Investorlift. Yeah. That's a lot of deals.
Yeah.
It took a lot of people.
60% of those were posted by our top two account levels, Cartel and Lieutenant.
Got it. Huh?
Sorry? Yeah, so we're about 500,000 deals a year, probably roughly around that.
So if you're getting into this game, and it's very lucrative, like, dude, you can make 20, 30 grand a year, a month doing this solo by yourself.
Part-time.
No bullshit.
9 to 5. Easy.
But what you need to understand, and when I get asked this question every single day, is that market saturated? Is that market saturated? And it's like, you're never going to go into a market and be the only person calling a homeowner.
No.
Like, I don't care what PPC company you use, what cold call company you use. They're filling out multiple forms and they got multiple VA companies calling them. So for me, that's why I focus so heavily on sales.
It's all sales.
It's like, dude, all you got to do is be willing to do what your competition's not willing to do and be better than what they are in sales. Yeah. Because wholesaling is sales through and through. I don't give a shit what you say. Until you start buying those things, you're not a real estate investor.
When you're getting started, the most important thing is your sales skills. So there's been times where I'm at conferences and, I'd come off stage and someone walks up to me and they got a limp handshake and like they talk like this and
You're screwed.
I'm always friendly with people and trying to give them the best advice I can. There's times where I just shoot straight with those people, be like, what do you think you're the best in the world at? Oh, I'm really good at tech. Perfect. Because once you figure out sales, the next thing is figuring out marketing and tech. You need to go find someone who is a savage at sales.
Yeah.
Go find your best friend in high school that was the good talker, that always had a girlfriend that was 3 points hotter than him. Go get that guy to team up with you.
Right.
And then you go figure out how to get him leads.
Yep.
And build the systems. When you first get started, it's not even 90%. It's like 100% of your chance of succeeding
is sales, bro.
Just your sales skills.
It's sales.
It's everything. You don't need CRMs. You don't need
none of that
You're
stuff.
like, oh, I got to set up my SEO. You don't need to worry about goddamn SEO. It's going to take 2 years before you even get any results. And you'll never be able to compete against guys that are pumping $50,000 a month in SEO. You're just pissing your money away to some con artists.
Yep.
Oh, I need to drop direct mail campaigns. Dude, you're going to spend... You are not... even the best salespeople, when they first get started, if they start messing with really expensive marketing campaigns like direct mail or PPC or whatever, you're going to burn through so much money. All you got to do is get a list, pick up the phone.
That's it.
And start dialing.
Dude, for me, when I first started, and I had money when I came into this industry. Like, I had millions of dollars when I came into the space. Yeah. Dude, it was me, 2 computer screens, and leads.
That's it.
That's it. I didn't have, I wasn't worried about paid ads, none of that shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of people come in here and if you start off with PPC, it's a fast way to go broke.
Yeah.
It's a fast way to go broke, especially if you don't understand sales.
Yeah. I
think everyone should cut their teeth either on the dialer or with cold call data. I think 100%. Everybody should.
Yeah.
Because once you respect that lead, you will ultimately respect every other lead that gets 100%. Put in front of you.
The last team we scaled up plus 2 million, we would not, the new acquisition people that we brought in, they were not allowed to touch the Google ad leads until they had gotten, I think we did 2 or 3 deals they would have to get off of cold calling.
Yeah.
So sorry, you're not going to value those leads. You're going to burn through them. I mean, we're spending $300 a call on those. You're going to go generate your own leads first. And once you prove to us that you can mine for your own gold and turn that gold into diamonds, then we'll give you some diamonds that you can turn into bigger diamonds.
Yeah. It's a lucrative business model, man. There's, unfortunately, a lot of people quit before the first deal happens. Mm-hmm. My whole thing is me creating this community that I'm doing. I have my elite coaching group. I do my due deals live. I've been in 2025, we're going to do 4 hustle summits. No, 2 hustle summits, boot camps where I bring people in. They fly into Scottsdale, Arizona. They come to my office here. I spend 2 days deep diving into the business model. And man, it's like, I want to show people that you can do this shit. Like this unfortunately is a model I think way too many people have overcomplicated. 100%. And when it comes down to the brass tacks of what the fuck we're doing here, it's if you can get lead and intelligently talk to this person and have people always give me shit about my sales process and my 13-page script. Well, nobody's laughing about my 13-page script after I did what I like. Yeah. Keep talking shit about it. The whole point of my script is taking somebody that doesn't understand sales and putting a process in their hand where if they can read it, they're going to sound better than 90% of the industry. Yeah. That's the point of my script. Then once you understand the script, take it, morph it into what you want it to be, but stick to the process. Yeah. It
jumpstarts them because when you wrote that script, you'd already had hundreds of thousands of calls. You took all those small little nuanced things that you'd figured out off of hundreds of thousands of calls, downloaded that into here's a bulletproof.
It works.
13-pager.
Yeah.
And boom, maybe they're not going to get 100,000 calls of experience like that, but even if they could capture 30,000 calls of experience, that's a big deal. That really gives you a jump start.
Is there anything we haven't talked about that you would like to talk about?
I think the next couple of years, I've been saying for a while, since the hedge funds backed out, I said the golden age of wholesaling isn't gone; it's still coming.
It's still coming.
Yeah, I said give it a couple years. The golden age of wholesaling isn't here yet. It's just starting.
It's just starting,
like
y'all.
This month, when I see a 50% increase, when I see the first month in history, we're gonna have 10,000 deals posted on the site. That tells me that the wave that we've been waiting for, the interest rate drops. And as soon as we start getting the interest rate drops in a more investor business friendly administration,
Yep.
you put those two together, all of a sudden optimism
Yep.
comes back to America.
Let's go.
All of a sudden people start buying houses, they start selling houses. Next year is going to be huge.
Massive.
Absolutely massive. We have some secret projects we're working on right now that are going to be dropping. Oh, I'll tell you one of the things you're going to like, because you're a big, like, show me your numbers kind of
Show
guy.
me your numbers or shut up.
We're building public profiles for every buyer and every wholesaler.
You're building a profile for every buyer and wholesaler.
So anyone, like a link.
Will you expose it?
Like, it's going to be all public.
I love it.
All public. Anyone you want to look up. If I want to look up Eric Cline, I'll be able to go on the page, see all the wholesale deals you've sold on Investorlift.
Yeah.
Zachary Keeps.
Yep.
He's got 300 rentals. You go to Zachary Keeps' profile, you'll see his 300 rentals there. He's done 4,000 flips. You'll see his 4,000 flips.
Love that, dude.
Two-way reviews are launching on Investorlift next month.
Let's go.
When someone screws you over in a deal, 1 star their ass.
Good.
When someone follows through and does what they say they're going to do, 5 star them. So it's going to be public profiles, full deal history, in-app messaging. I think it's going to be like the new way to show your credibility. Hey, you want to get coaching from me? Look at my Investorlift profile. Look, I'm a level 11 out of 11 wholesaler. Oh, you want coaching? Oh, let me see your Investorlift profile. Oh, you're a 2 out of 11 wholesaler score. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, thanks. Next. So that is coming.
Love it, man.
And I think it's going to bring a lot more trust and transparency.
Cool.
We're doing additional things like verified deals, things like that, where like you upload your contract, it marks that deal is verified, an actual authentic deal. We're going to be injecting the system with tons of new trust mechanisms, and then the AI stuff is going to start rolling out. It won't be marketed as AI, because I always hate it when people are like, oh, we got AI. It's like literally it's MySQL filters, like it's just bullshit marketing shit. If you have real AI, you don't even need to have marketed as AI. Just like, hey, here's a new feature.
Right.
But there's already some live in the product, and we're going to add more and more and more and more. It's going to change everything and give everyone the opportunity to really, really take advantage of the next wave.
Let's go.
It's going to be once in a lifetime. So just focus on the basics. If you want to crush it in 2025, if you're not a millionaire yet and you want to become a millionaire, 2025 is going to be the best year to do it. And the best industry to do it is real estate wholesaling. And the legend here has a track record. So if you don't know sales, call Eric. I can stand by his numbers. Absolutely incredible. You did disrupt this entire industry.
Thank you, bro.
The innovations you came up with, absolutely incredible. And different people have different styles. Like
do.
I know you like polar opposites. RJ Bates, he's Mr. No Script, right? He's also goddamn natural, right? He does deals too. You might be a Mr. Natural. If you're Mr. Nat, find what works for you. But you have a proven track record, and it's been incredible watching your journey. So if you want to take advantage, focus on the basics, get sales down. That's number one. Number two thing that people screw up on after, even if they're incredible salespeople, I've seen a lot of incredible salespeople that are just like killers, and they're not doing deals, and they're leaving deals on the table. They're not selling shit they should have sold. The number two killer is underwriting. That is
100%. Sales and underwriting will kill you. So we bring a lot of newbies into our community, a lot. And those are the two things that I noticed immediately is the phone weighs 1,000 pounds. They're literally scared to pick it up. They have leads sitting there waiting for them that were verified by either my cold call company, run it remote, or even PPC leads. Yeah. They're sitting there and they will not call them. They're scared.
At your after party.
Yes.
I was there and a guy was like, hey, I got this lead today. I'm thinking about calling him. I'm like, why haven't you called them already?
You're thinking about it, goddammit.
This text notification came in 6 hours ago. I'm like, why haven't you called them?
Yeah, it's crazy,
The chances of closing that lead just went down 21x in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm just nervous. I don't know like what to offer them.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go open up a laptop right now. We're going to comp this out for you.
Yeah, sales and underwriting, bro.
So even if you're a great salesperson, don't let underwriting hold you back from picking up the phone.
Yep, I agree.
You can always find out where they're at and then go find some buyers and talk to some buyers and ask some buyers, hey, hypothetically, what would you pay for a 3-2, 1,500 square feet in this neighborhood?
Yeah, I agree. Or just offer them 65%, 70%. It doesn't matter. Just get on the phone with them.
Get on the phone, get the sales down, get the underwriting down. And then once you're really rolling, then start investing in systems to simplify, not add complex, but remove complex.
Yep, I agree. I agree. How does somebody that's listening here get Investorlift? How do they get it?
Very simple. Go to get.investorlift.com. And I believe that we hook them up if they mention that they came through you. So if you're watching the show, just mention, hey, I'm coming through Eric Cline. We always hook up anyone from Eric Cline. We hook you up with the best deals on some extras,
Appreciate
extra buyers,
that, bro.
extra skip tracing credits, things like that.
Cool.
We always hook up anyone that's coming from you.
Right on, man. Robert, thank you so much for coming back to Scottsdale, Arizona, our home. And I wish you nothing but the best, brother. Hey, what's going on? I want to congratulate you for making it to the end. What does that mean? You're in the 1% club. No one else stuck around. You did. What I want you to do is subscribe. More importantly, comment below. That way I know exactly who you are and we can get to know one another. Every single week, by you turning your notifications on, you're not going to miss the sales training that's going to keep you in this 1% club. Comment below, subscribe. I'm going to see you in the next video. Let's continue to refuse to lose.